My colleague Rajesh Pawar joins us from the ground in Israel. He's been reporting from around the Gaza Strip over the last many weeks. The focal point today and over the weekend, Rajesh, has become the Al-Shifa hospital. Once again, a very familiar, crossfire of claims versus counterclaims. Infants, perishing in that hospital, fuel not being allowed to reach, airstrikes continuing in that area. What are you hearing? Very difficult to judge from this distance. What are you hearing from the ground?
Look, Shiv, as you also very well know, that modern day warfare is as much fought in the information arena as much it is fought on the ground by guns and airplanes and ships. And this is what we are seeing right now happening here. And let me tell you, today, Israel has banned Al Jazeera from Israeli soil. The reason being, Al Jazeera has been known for a long time to be the main tool of Islamist propaganda around the world, especially in the Western world and English-speaking world. So they have totally banned it today, and these claims cannot be verified. It is impossible to verify about these reports emanating from the hospital about children. But what I've heard from here is IDF has tried to provide a safe corridor, a safe passage for patients to leave these hospitals. And these corridors were attacked by Hamas terrorists by using anti-tank weapons. And also, IDF claims that they have provided 300 liters of fuel to these hospitals so that generators can run, and the ICU especially that can be maintained. At the same time, they have placed a lot of ambulances to evacuate those patients who are critically ill or are in ICU. So there are claims and counterclaims, as you rightly said, but it is very difficult to believe what Al Jazeera puts up in the news, because that is generally with a view with propaganda. Shiv.
Okay, that's what Israel says is that they have been supplying fuel, but this is something that is being refuted from the ground. So once again, the grey zone of claims versus counterclaims in a very, very terrifying situation concerning the Al-Shifa hospital. Rajesh, thank you very much for that input from the ground. Now remember, amidst Israel's mounting offensive in Gaza, and let's make no mistake, there is a mounting humanitarian crisis there. India has just made a big vote against Israel, keeping in with a very nuanced and independent foreign policy, like I've been explaining here on the show. India has voted in favor of a resolution that condemns Israeli settlement activities on Palestinian territory. India was among an overwhelming number, 145 nations that had voted in favor of a resolution, along with several other countries condemning Israel's settlements. US, Canada and 7 other countries voted against this resolution. It condemns Israel's settlement activities in Palestine, including East Jerusalem and in the occupied Syrian Golan, and any activities involving the confiscation of land, the disruption of livelihood of protected persons, the forced transfer of civilians and the annexation of territory, whether de facto or through national legislation. Remember, India just a couple of weeks ago had voted or abstained in a resolution calling for a humanitarian pause in Israel's campaign against the Hamas in the Gaza Strip.